All right, so today we got a falling video. Cut down these alders right here. The cedars that's coming down. Timber! There's a fir next to it. Oh, it's going sideways. Oh, there goes that. And then behind this one is another cedar. It wasn't a plan coming into this, so... How is that still holding on? Oh, there it goes. Timber! Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe! I want to show you this maple right here. This thing is a beast. Check out the growth on this. That is called Pacific Northwest. Heavy moss growth. It's pretty awesome. I wish I could get some good lighting up here because it's so thick and like luscious. Just want to make you lay in it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get started cutting on these alders. Little pinch right there. This is what I was talking about not doing. Oof, it's a good pinch. And this is only quarter pitch stuff, so you can even, I could break this chain or bend this bar pretty easy. So let me get the other saw and just free up this one. $500 sitting right there. It'll be fine. If I break it, I'll just have to go buy one of those nice Ripsaw 500s or the Ripsaw 592. Coming back. Watch out, boys. Almost. Sketch out here, guys. Let's go to the next one, the big one. That hill. Walking up that hill is a little bit of work. And slipping and sliding around all these limbs too. It looks pretty good though. Just cut it all down. Did this all survive? Looks like it did. 500 lives to see another day. All right, so I'm gonna cut up these cedars now. I put the 36-inch bar. Usually I run a 32, but honestly, I didn't have a sharp chain. I didn't want to sharpen it, so I just put the 36 on it. I have to cut it from this high side here because it's kind of down a hill. I'd be doing this number if I was trying to cut from the other side, so I gotta do everything from this side right here only. So it's not uncommon on cedars to find this. How about a massive cavity in there? Yeah, that's a cedar for you. Lost half the hinge right there. Should make it more fun when I have to wedge it when I don't have a center core for this tree. So the tree's already starting to want to go, but because that center section's rotted out completely, I prefer to kind of give it more of a push this way with the wedge so it doesn't break off sideways. Unfortunately, I just broke my nicer axe. You probably saw it on my last video. Double up or cut the hinge? What do you think? Double up or cut it? Let's double up just for fun. There it goes. Timber! Yeah, it's nice, huh? Look at this, even this part. That's why I kept that hinge so thick on both sides, because that's all I had. I had a little piece right there and I had a little piece right there. There's nothing in the center. Let's go to the next one. The more I look at it, the more it looks like it has a decent back lean. So I'm gonna give it a shot with the wedges. I don't have a lot of space here to pound wedges because the length of the wedge would go all the way up to where the saw is gonna be. So what I'll probably have to do is just get a wedge started, keep going forward with the saw until I get the hinge perfect, pull the saw out, and then bang the wedges. But it's got a really decent back lean. I'd probably have to have 2 wedges stacked. I mean, I'm gonna give it a shot. There's a chance it goes backwards here, but there's nothing there, and it's worth a shot. I think it's worth a shot with the amount of risk involved here, which is low. It's not sitting back yet. Okay, so it just set back. It's set back hard, so I'm definitely gonna have to work on these wedges here because my saw, I don't want to run the saw into the wedge and destroy the wedge. So if I can get this going a little bit and keep cutting with the saw. See, it's sitting on my saw right now, so I have to wedge more. I don't have a choice. See, still sitting on my saw. So this is going to be a fun one. I'm probably already up against the saw with the wedge, so I'm probably going to destroy this wedge. Yeah, it's set back hard, and I can feel the wind kind of pushing against it too, so there's, you know, 2 factors there playing against me. You can tell by the sound of the wedge that it's sitting back. Set back real hard. Yeah, so the bar's stuck in there. I mean, worst case, I go with my other saw. If I can't get one of these free, then I can't stack 2. Probably gonna have to cut it the other way. Yep, it's not looking good. What I should have done is before I put just 1 in on this side, I should have put 2. Because then I could have had them stacked and get double the lift on it. What if I can knock one out, actually? Here we go. Stack 2, and if that doesn't work, then get another saw and cut it the other way. If I couldn't let it go backwards, then I would just shoot a rope up into it and winch it over that way. It's a lot more work, but it's, you know, this is what I would do if I had to. I would just pull it from here and it would work. I'm gonna do a back cut quite a ways through it here, not do a face cut yet. I'm gonna start with a back cut, see if I can get a couple wedges buried in. And if I get this tree to start going over a little bit, I'll be able to pull out this bigger saw, put my face cut in, and follow it with the second cut, which is on top, in theory. And I'm gonna use the little echo to do it. Of course, I'm out of gas now on the echo. But let's see if I can get a couple wedges in there. Got nothing to lose. It's not gonna work. What I just did was I just bored into this forward of my wedge here so not to hit the wedge. a little more than halfway through. What I want to do is bury that wedge. In fact, I might even, yeah, it's already in there. Probably bury that wedge. See if I can get this tree to come forward some, and then I might release the back down here. In fact, let me cut up that a little more on the top, so I have clearance from my bar. That's real cut up right there, but still enough room to put a face cut in it. So, all right, let's put this wedge down and see what we can do here. I'm trying to set the top part up so that I can work on the bottom. But it's set back hard right now. Like, that's a lot of bounce. Oh wow, look at that. That wedge completely broke. That's interesting. I think I got the wind pushing at me still too. Oh wow. Oh, it's going sideways. Oh, there goes that. Oh, it's going sideways. There goes that. So let's take a look at it and see what happened there. The other wedge broke too. Look at that right there. So here was my face cut on the bottom section. What it did was, since I cut all the way up to this point, the actual, what was holding on was just from this point to this point, just this inch all the way up. And it wasn't enough strength to hold the tree up, so it kind of just went sideways there out here. So that's what was holding, it was just from here, just this little strip right here. Not enough. So that's how you get a tree to go backwards on you. Again, I would never do it this way. If I was at a residential with houses, I would have put a rope in it immediately, even before I cut it up like I usually do. But out here, you get to, you know, experiment, practice a little bit, get better. That's a great example of what can happen when it goes over your shoulder. Good times. Here's the large cedar, probably a 4-foot base. Let me show you what's going on down here with it. I got a pretty open gap into this gully over here. I got to keep it, I want to make sure it doesn't hang up in this tree, but it can go right out here. Nice big tree here. Whoa, falling off the log. To axe that out. That was better. My face cut was kind of pointed right here. It was a little closer to that tree than I wanted to, so I made the adjustment by cutting this side of the hinge, keeping this one heavy. That was just enough to kind of pull it this way a little bit to drive it down this hole right here. You can see where the end of my bar stopped right there. I kind of started cutting over here, and I rolled the saw around and pushed through on this side right here. So that's the 36 inches right there on that bar. Worked out pretty well. All right, so I got a few more trees. I'm gonna fall for the neighbor real quick. It wasn't a plan coming into this, so I got a little bit of juice in the cameras. I'm gonna save it for those trees. There's bonus tree number 1. When you don't want to walk back up the hill to your truck to get more gas, we'll just share the gas between saws. Look at that, full tank. Here's bonus tree number 2. Watching for blowback. We're good. Holy cow, look at that hinge. That thing is wild. Way high above that cut. But sheesh, look at that sucker. All right, 2 more to go. I don't think this one's gonna go with this little guy in the way right here. So I'll cut it up. I'll try to get it to go between these two, between this one, like in this gap right here, but if it stops, I'll just have to cut up this one and let them release at the same time. I can't tell how tight up the limbs are, but I think it'll go through. My next one's right over here. It's that one right there. Maybe I'll cut that one up and try to push it with this tree. In fact, I think I'm gonna cut that one through, leave it standing, cut this one up too because it's gonna kind of block this tree. Cut this one last and have it push both of these over. You guys think that'll work? Hey, do you think that'll work? I don't really know. There's a chance. Look at me practicing my traditional face cuts, which I never do. That sucker's ready to go, but I want to leave it standing so I can push it over with that tree. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try just cutting up that cedar and just getting it to come through those limbs. It might stall out. We'll just see. If it does, we'll figure it out. I think that's trying to sit back on me. Is it really? That has a forward tilt to it. 100%. Unless it's got weight pushing it from those limbs. That's a really weird. It really felt like it was sitting back. Very interesting. Let's put a couple sticks in there. I don't have my wedges. I left them up top. But it could just be the bark. Sometimes it swells. It doesn't matter if it goes backwards here where I'm at, but if it sits back on my saw, then I gotta get my other saw to get it out, and I don't want to deal with that. So what I can do is put these sticks in here. That'll keep it from sitting back on my bar. Works the same way as a wedge does. I just couldn't tell. It looks, the tree definitely should be going forward with its weight right now. So I'll keep cutting it here, but let me just get some sticks in here first. Oh, okay. It just tilted sideways. Oh, okay, so that's interesting. Very interesting. It wants to go out here. We're gonna have to let it too. Unless I want to go back up, get wedges and pound them. That's the only way to fix this issue. You see the gap right here, how large that is? And it's trying to close up over here. So 100%, it wants to go this way now. I don't need to go get the wedges. I don't really have to go right there with it. This is all free game. So even though my face cut's on this side, I'm just gonna let it go sideways. I'm just gonna let it go sideways. Here's what it looks like when a tree goes sideways again. I'll keep cutting it like I want it to go that way, but it's gonna go out there. There it goes. Oh, it's resting in that other tree. Check out this gap. It's totally resting up here. Let's cut it up a little more. It might go through. I got plenty of escape room back here if things get crazy. Let's find out. Pinch the bar. If it comes out of there, it might come out. I got the saw out. So I'm gonna cut up this tree next to it that's holding it up, and they'll both go together. The other tree's still standing, which is good. Man, I'm exhausted. All right, here we go. Once again, just for effect, I'm not going to put a face cut in this. I'm just going to do a back cut, kind of let it barber chair here. Plenty of space behind me to roll out. But yeah, just so you can see what that looks like. So don't get the comments and say, oh, put a face cut in it. Nope, I'm doing this on purpose. Somehow that other one's still holding on. It must be this tree behind it. Interesting. How is that still holding on? That's, oh, there it goes. Timber! Oh my gosh, look at it stalling again. Look at that. I'm not afraid of the bottom of the tree, what it's going to do. It's the top and the blowback. When this thing comes out, what it flings back at me. That's the dangerous part. It's crazy how that's still holding on. Like, what's it holding on to, you know? That's it. There it goes. Oh wow, that was a weird angle that it went at. That was strange. Yeah, the center again, it's always rotten. That was very strange. All right, that one's already cut up. It just needs a little bit more on it. It's gonna come over. Let's go finish it off. So real quick, what I want to talk about here is falling these trees out in the forest where limbs are all crisscrossing and the terrain's uneven and just a lot of limbs twisted up. It's a completely different scenario than falling trees residential, where it's just a tree all by itself, you know, and there's nothing entangled with it. So being out here and doing this kind of falling, it's completely different than just doing it residential. All kinds of new factors to play with. I'm not a logger, I'm a residential tree guy. So being out here, sorry, I'm just watching this tree because the wind's blowing and I've already cut it up. So I'm just kind of I'm kind of waiting for it to fall over on its own. But yeah, being out here doing this is a completely different, this is great. This is really good for me to get even more experience out here in the sticks doing this, because I do mostly residentials. But a lot of different factors come into play when working out here in the woods. So I'm not as good as I am falling sticks residential that you've seen me freaking nail perfect falling jobs. Out here is different. So I'm just taking advantage of this opportunity to get more and more experience. I'm gonna fall this tree. I'm gonna end this video. It's been fun. Hope you enjoyed my fail content this time. A lot of stuff I'm doing out here I would not do near houses. So having a good time, doing some learning, you know, it's all good. See you on the next one. There's our last one. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe.